exhausted, upset, and buried under a pile of unfolded laundry. I felt like I was drowning in frustration. He came home late again. Without even looking up from the clothes, I let the words slip out. "You're not the man I love anymore. You're just the person I raise a child with." The silence that followed was heavy. It lasted just long enough for me to realize I had crossed a line, but not long enough to take it back. If you've ever said something hurtful out of anger just to make someone feel your pain, you'll understand how this feels. Please stay with me, this still hurts to remember. We weren't always this distant. In the beginning, he was my strength, the one who brought peace to my chaos. When I struggled, he stayed steady. When I doubted, he believed in us. Our daughter came quickly. Not a surprise, but sooner than we had planned. Becoming parents didn't ruin us, but it did bury us under endless responsibilities. We lost touch with who we were before becoming a family. I stopped seeing him as my partner. He became more like a teammate, someone who changed diapers, ran errands, or took out the trash. He started walking on eggshells, afraid of saying the wrong thing or not doing enough. He was always tired, always unsure. And me. I became bitter. My heart grew colder with each passing day. One night, after putting our daughter to bed, I folded the laundry quietly. He sat nearby, staring at his phone. We hadn't touched in weeks. Hadn't really talked in months. Then he broke the silence. "Do you still care about me?" I stopped, holding a tiny dress in my hands, trying to find the right words. A short laugh escaped me, not because it was funny, but because the question felt long overdue. "I admire how amazing you are with her," I said softly. "But sometimes it feels like I'm just co-parenting with a stranger." He didn't respond right away. His eyes blinked slowly. Then he stood up and walked toward the hallway. A moment later, I heard the soft but heartbreaking sound of a suitcase being pulled out of the closet. That's when it hit me. He wasn't going to argue or plead. He believed my words and started packing. I stood in the doorway, frozen. My legs felt heavy, and my throat tightened. "Wait," I whispered. He paused only to zip the suitcase, then said, "If that's how you see me, I won't stay where I'm not wanted as your partner." He walked past me, calm, quiet, but empty. That night I slept on the couch, not because I had to, but because our bed still smelled like him, and I couldn't handle it. The next morning our daughter asked where he was. I told her he was at Grandma's. It wasn't a complete lie. He had gone there. But the real reason he left was because of my painful words. Days turned into weeks. His messages were only about our daughter, short and polite. There was no warmth left in his words. The same man who once left me long voicemails just to say, "I love you," now texted me like I was a distant stranger. And the truth is, I had earned that. I tried to explain it to my friends, saying we were already drifting apart. I told them he stopped showing he cared. But deep down I knew that wasn't true. He did care. I just stopped recognizing it. He still made my coffee the way I liked it, even when things felt cold between us. He rubbed my shoulders when I was in pain, even when I barely acknowledged it. He still called me darling, until I began to flinch at the word. I slowly pushed him away, word by word, until that night when I said the one thing that finally broke us. I thought he would come back, not right away but eventually after we both had time to breathe. But he didn't. A month later he sent me a shared calendar link for our parenting schedule. No message. No attempt to talk. Just details. When he dropped off our daughter for the first time, he didn't step inside. He kissed her forehead, handed me her bag, and quietly left. I wanted to shout, "Come in! Fight for us!" But I had already convinced him that there was nothing left worth fighting for. That night I sat on the kitchen floor, leaning against the fridge, crying like I had lost someone forever, because I had. The love didn't vanish all at once. It faded slowly, through quiet moments, heavy sighs, and too many careless words. If you've ever looked at someone you still loved and asked yourself how you pushed them so far away, then you understand this pain. Weeks later, we sat in a mediator's office, discussing custody, visitation, and holidays. He wasn't angry. He looked at peace. And I hated it. Not because I wanted him to hurt, but because I saw that he was free. Free from the woman who made him feel small for trying. Free from the bitter version of me who chose pride over love. Now I'm left with a new title, single mother. And the memory of the night he quietly stopped trying to be anything more than a co-parent. 6 months have passed. We text more now, mostly about our daughter. Sometimes he asks how I'm doing. I reply, I'm okay. But I'm not. The words I once used to hurt him worked. And the worst part is, he believed them. If this story stirs something in your heart, if you've ever pushed someone away just to protect yourself from being hurt, if you still replay that one phrase you wish you could take back, please know this, you're not alone. Here's what I've learned. Sometimes you don't lose someone in a loud fight. You lose them in the silence after one painful sentence. They don't leave out of anger. They leave because they finally believe. You never truly wanted them to stay.